An Orange County public school teacher is in Jacksonville this week to bring attention to issues facing homeless people. Thomas Redmond took a year off from his career to live homeless in cities around Florida. He was across the street from Jacksonville's Hemming Plaza this morning.
I'm exactly the same as any other homeless person, except I'm doing it voluntary, and I know I can leave at any time. That's true. So I don't have the real emotional problems that they do as far as not knowing when it's ever going to end. Other than that, I have every problem they have. I have to find something to eat. I have to try to get work, to get money, the exact same problems.
Redmond says one purpose of his mission is to correct the misconception that homeless people don't have jobs because they are lazy or unwilling to work. He says it's practically impossible for someone who's homeless to get a job when they don't have a permanent address to list on an application.
The homeless are actually, they're 40% are families, 20% of them are veterans. And we have some real great people that are on the street. You wouldn't even know they're homeless if you saw them. So the stigma of homelessness, of being those vagrants, is what I'm trying to get across. And the reason I keep doing it is it's working. It's just very, very difficult. In Orlando, I applied for 150 plus jobs in 30 days and couldn't get any job. And the reason is not that people are against the homeless, it's because if you have a number of job applications, you're gonna pick the best candidate as an employer. And when you see homeless on the application, that's not your best candidate.
Redmond says another problem is that many people are misinformed about the homeless shelters. He says that the homeless can't just live at the homeless shelters. Most shelters charge them to stay the night.
The shelters aren't free. You have to pay for a shelter, most shelters. So where do you get that money, as you're trying to run around and eat all day? How do you make that money in between? Shelters are a place to house people. They don't really effectively help homelessness. They give them an overnight stay. It's kind of like when we go feed people in the park. That gives them that meal, but how does that end homelessness?
Redmond is meeting with Florida Governor Rick Scott's Council on Homelessness in February to share his experience and insight into what can be done to help homelessness. But until then, Redmond has a simple solution that could end homelessness that doesn't require a government agency or even a charity to make happen, and it could start right now.
Just pretend it's your neighbor. If you saw your neighbor the first time and he asked for money, even though he lived down the street, would you give it to him? No, you'd get to know him, you'd find out what his problems are, and then you'd make a decision. That's what you do with the homeless. Do you give money to a stranger on the street? I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying the better way to do it is to get to know that person, find out if they have a need, and give them what you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be money. I'll tell you what I need more than money, food, or a bed. Somebody to support me and help me. To have all day I'm demeaned and treated horribly. I need somebody that's going to care about me more than I need anything else. So if you get to know that homeless person and you feel the need to reach out to them, that's the way you help homelessness. One person, one-on-one. If that you don't have to give him money. Maybe he just needs a ride to get his Social Security card, and that's what's preventing him from working. I don't mean put him in the car the first day. Get to know the guy. If you feel comfortable, great, or lady. And if you don't, find another person you do feel comfortable with, because there's lots of great people out here that need lots of help, and we're not providing it as a society.
To follow Thomas Redmond on his journey, visit his Facebook page, Homeless and Hungry. We've included a link below. Ray Hollister, WJCT News.